Brunson gets inside. His layup is good. Bridges' shooting is just unbelievable. And the Knicks red hot. They have been an offensive juggernaut. Sloppy turnovers. Oh, what a pass from Anunoby, and Bridges with the finish.
The Cavs are beating themselves with help from the Knicks, make no mistake.
Brunson fakes, drives, gets inside. Lampy banks it home, and this is the largest lead of the game.
They're shooting the ball so well across the board that it can be demoralizing for the other team.
The Knicks are now one win away from their first finals appearance in 27 years.
You saw some New York alumni there in the game, and you got New York alumni joining the program now. Quentin Richardson, good morning to you, sir. All right, the Knicks have the Cavs on the brink. Jalen Brunson finished with a game-high 30. He is averaging 29 points a game in this series. How would you describe his level of play right now, Q?
I would describe it as he's playing at the MVP level right now in these playoffs. And right now in this series against the Cavs, he's really like at an MVP level, but he's playing against a team that can't stop him. I mean, I would dream to have that feeling to be in a series, in a big-time series, to make it to the NBA Finals where I'm playing against a team that can't stop me and I'm playing at a high level. And that's life right now for Jalen Brunson. He's genuinely living the dream, being the captain for the Knicks, being the lead player, and being in a series where they can't stop him, and he's having his way.
They can't stop him. Nobody could stop New York. They won 10 straight games now at this point in this playoff. Meanwhile, the Cavs on the verge of being swept in this best of 7 for the 4th time in franchise history. What did you make of Cleveland's overall showing in Game 3 on their home court?
They lack the sense of urgency for the scenario. For them to be down 0-2 on their home court with a chance to try and get back into the series, they didn't have the energy and the effort that I needed to see from them. You needed to see all out effort, like playing with like nothing else matters. Like this was a game 4, like it was a shutout game for them, and they didn't deliver on the energy side of it. I can accept, guys not shooting the ball well, guys not playing their best, but the energy level should have been chaotic. It should have been an all-out sense of urgency to try and, get back into this thing, and it wasn't there.
You and their head coach, Kenny Atkinson, agree. He said post-game, we couldn't match their physicality, and we didn't match their energy. So that leads to this question. Do the Knicks get it done Game 4 tomorrow night and sweep the Cavs out of this playoffs?
I believe so, yeah. I don't have a broom right here with me. It's in the pantry, in the laundry room, in the pantry somewhere. But if I had a broom, I would have it out right now. I do believe the Knicks will sweep them and make it to the NBA Finals, and the Knicks fans will go into instant pandemonium. Well-deserved pandemonium.
We'll set up a day with either the Thunder or the Spurs in the NBA Finals, a place the New York Knicks haven't been since 1999. Game 4, we'll find out. Monday night,
Orange and blue skies.
On ESPN. Q said it. Much appreciated, sir. We'll see you soon.
All right, they might be the best in the...
Bacon, egg, and cheese is across
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
New York. And do not forget the bed.
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
I think the Cavaliers forgot that they are on the brink of getting swept out of these playoffs. We are in Cleveland. Jalen Brunson, 9 points in the first half, but he would turn things up for these Knicks, who have won 9 straight games in these playoffs, and they are trying to make it 10, and they are trying to make it problematic for the Cavaliers to get back into this game. Working baseline is JB. Knicks up 83-70. Spoiler alert, Cavaliers never led in this game at any point in this game. They tied it up a couple of times, but ESPN Analytics did the math for us. The Knicks led in this game 96% of it. Mitchell Robinson drives a big truck right there. He had a big dunk. Brunson scored or assisted on 14 points in the third quarter after just 13 in the first half. He finished with Brunson with a game-high 30. Every New York starter was in double-digit scoring. Landry Shamet, not a starter. He did have 14. He had 3 threes in a span of 99 seconds. We didn't speed this up for the purposes of editing. This is just part of that streak right there. 11 points off the bench in the fourth for Shamet, and then Jalen Brunson with 2 minutes to go, and just the entirety of the Cavaliers defense was like, nah, we're good. Monday night, Game 4, the Knicks can sweep the Cavs.
We're still confident. Like, the confidence is, never going away. Like, we're more than capable. We just need some things to a shift change and make some shots to the series turns around.
And you got to give credit. They're up 3-0, right? Like, they've beaten us 3 times. So I'm not saying that, but no, I don't feel like we're overmatched. I think we just have to find a way. And like I said, I hate to harp on it, but like we were up 22, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on everyone in this locker room. We know that, we feel that, and we have an opportunity on Monday to get game 4 and then go from there.
10 of the Knicks' 11 wins this playoffs have come by double digits. That is tied for the most such wins prior to the NBA Finals in league history, along with the 2017 Warriors and the 2013 Heat. It is also as many as New York had in the playoffs from 2000 to 2025 combined.
Williams let the flyby go. Knocked down 3. Oklahoma City down 15-0 to start, has come back. The third quarter for the Thunder, their most in a third quarter this postseason. And the bench doing it again.
Trouble making my teammates better right now. I need to be more of a team player.
Down 15 to start, the Thunder win by 15 and take a 2-1 series lead.
You know what? Since we have the 2005 NBA three-point contest champion Quentin Richardson back with us, we thought we would run back a little segment that we call Threes and Qs, focusing on tonight's Game 4 between the Thunder and the Spurs. Q Rich, I'm going to give you a question and 3 options, and you're going to choose one and explain why. Okay, so first up, question is, which Thunder player will make the biggest impact off the bench in Game 4? Alex Caruso, Jared McCain, or Jalen, with an I, Williams?
All right, Randy. For me, it's Alex Caruso, man. All 3 of these guys, obviously, these 3 guys and more of their bench players have been huge and have been playing big for OKC. But for me, Alex Caruso is a constant, man. It doesn't matter whether he's scoring, whether he's playing tenacious defense and giving your best player 94 feet of hell up and down that court. But he's a consistent guy who's come in, and the Spurs could be up a little bit. He comes in, plays well, changes the pace of the game, and changes the energy of the game. He's an impact player and a game changer every game of the series for them. So I'm taking Caruso.
He's been a problem for San Antonio, flat out. A.J. Mitchell, meanwhile, has been ruled out for Game 4, and Jalen, with an E, Williams, is questionable for Game 4. All right, so next question. Which Spurs player, aside from Wemby, cannot afford to have a bad game? De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, or Devin Vassell?
I'm going with Steph Castle, Randy. I feel like Steph Castle, even though he's in his second year, he's quickly becoming the second most important player on the team after Wemby. He's a two-way player. He's a guy that can play combo guard, play both guard positions, facilitate, defend well at a high level. He's a high assist guy. So for me, even though he's only in his second year, and I know they got De'Aaron Fox and some of the other guys, I feel like Steph Castle has become the second most important player on this team.
He attacks that rim. He attacks on the defensive end and attacks the rim.
Yeah.
All right, finally, and Wemby is a possible answer here. Which player, Q, is going to be the headline for Game 4? Wemby, SGA, or Chet Holmgren?
I'm going to go with the MVP here. I'm going with SGA. I feel like he's kind of working his way out of the double teams and things they've done to him earlier in the series. He's kind of figuring it out, and he had his first 30 in a little while this last game. I expect him to come back and compound on that game and show the stuff that he's figured out in their defense. And I think he still will be the main attraction in this game.
OKC's dealing with injuries. We already told you about Jalen Williams and now A.J. Mitchell, but SGA has been the constant. Those are your threes and Qs with Q Rich. Thank you, Q.
Yes, sir.
All that question asking can make you hungry. Someone's here to help. Before he was cooking up bets at the worldwide leader, Tyler Fulgham was literally just cooking up. Contestant on Guys Grocery Games. Got to keep this cool hat.
Yep.
That now
Gave
I'm
one
wearing.
to you.
I'm borrowing. Look, there's our guy right there. The stripes look great on you. Oh wait, no, that wasn't you. That's you right there in the. What are you cooking right here, Tyler?
That looked like a chicken I had for a second.
Nice. And what's
That
right
is
there?
some code that I'm cooking up for my best bets.
We're gonna get to that because I'm hungry. Give us an appetizer from what we were just talking about.
We'll start with that Spurs Thunder game. I'm gonna lay it with the Spurs. I think they even up this series, guys, because this one seems like it's going 6-7 games at the very least. If they go down 3-1, they could be in trouble. They need this game, and I know Game 3 was disappointing, especially after they had that huge lead, Gary. So for an appetizer, I think we can throw a small wager on San Antone.
Okay.
Let me see if it's up there. Bang.
There
now
we go.
we're cooking. San Antone minus a 2.5 against the Thunder. Again, just Victor Wembanyama Steph Castle, Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, they rebound, don't turn the ball over, don't have those late game execution errors, and even this series up at 2 apiece. We're going back to OKC, 2-2. They win and cover by at least 3.
Okay, that's the appetizer,
right?
And this, I believe, is a French word, so maybe the answer lies within that. Give us a solid first course, Tyler Fulgham.
My entree will be the over in this game 4. Why? Well, Gary, we have just seen nothing but big, meaty point totals. It's meat and potatoes point totals in this series. All 3 games have gone over the total. I know you're gonna say out there too, Tyler. Well, game 1 went to double overtime. Well, it still counts.
Sure, it sure does.
I missed the rules in
Last
betting
time I
where
checked
if
the
it goes
cookbook.
to overtime,
You know what I mean?
we don't get to count those points. Games 2 and games 3. The winning team in every game this series has scored at least 120 points. That might be necessary again in this game 4 situation, whether it comes from the Thunder. I hope it comes from the Spurs since I'm betting them, but I think we go over 218.5 yet again.
All right, that's delicious. That's sweet, but I need something a little extra sweet.
Okay.
Give me some dessert, Tyler.
This on Memorial Day for dessert, it could be that strawberry, whipped cream, and blueberry pie that you turn into an American flag.
Obviously.
It could be red, white, and blue Jell-O shots.
Come on.
Of course, any dessert
Freedom, baby.
should be had in moderation, and that's why I want this bet to be your smallest bet of the 3 up here.
Okay.
It's Colorado on the puck line, which means they have to win Game 3 by multiple goals. Of course, they're in an 0-2 hole in this series. They lost both games on their home ice to this Vegas team that just turns into Stanley Cup playoff assassins when this time of the calendar rolls around. But I think Colorado is good enough to get back in this series. I think they're good enough to make this a 2-1 series after 3 games, even on road ice. And what I'm hoping for here is a game that does not go into overtime because, of course, we can't cover the puck line in OT. It's 3-2 late. Vegas pulls that goalie, and then a Nathan McKinnon empty netter gives us a 4-2 victory and a plus 180 score on the puck line for Memorial Day weekend.
Delicious.
Thank you.
That's a Michelin star. I hope I did all right as a sous chef. Just don't call me Sue. Thanks, Tyler.
No, it's yes, chef, Gary.
Yes, chef. That's my bad.
Williams let the flyby go. Knocked down 3. Oklahoma City down 15-0 to start has come back. Third quarter for the Thunder. They're most in the third quarter this postseason. And the bench doing it again.
Trouble making my teammates better right now. I need to be more of a team player.
Down 15 to start. The Thunder win by 15 and take a 2-1 series lead.
PJ Carlesimo will continue to be on the call for Game 4 of the Western Conference Final on ESPN Radio. He's our coach, and he's with us on SportsCenter this morning. We see Victor Wembanyama in that montage, Coach. I know we had to watch it. You had to listen to it, but it was the Thunder bench who really drew the attention in Game 3. They scored 76 points. What jumps out to you as you've watched that unit through the first 3 games of the series?
Randy, they've been unbelievable. They're averaging over 60 points a game. Bench points, the leader this year averaged 46, and they're doing it with multiple players. Alex Caruso's arguably been their best player in the playoffs. He's shooting over 60% from the field. Cason Wallace with the steals all the time. Jared McCain's probably the biggest surprise. Jalen Williams gets a chance to play, and he goes 5 for 6 from the three-point line. Jared McCain, you wouldn't even have talked about him, and he's got the third most points for the Thunder in this series. They had 4 guys in double figures, Rand, back-to-back games. That hasn't happened since 1971 in the playoffs. Over 60 points a game from the bench is incredible.
Coach, you can't be in the game for decades without having ties to both of these teams. You were an assistant coach for the Spurs with Coach Greg Popovich. You won 3 titles between 2003 and 2007. Then you're the first coach for the Thunder franchise. So as a coach looking at this, what would be your game plan to try and contain the all-world player that is Victor Wembanyama?
Gary, I'm lucky I didn't have to come up with a game plan for this. But I mean, with Victor, all you can do, you have to be physical with him, first of all, with any great player, he or SGA. You got to give him different looks. Victor's problem is just what you're seeing. He can block shots. He can shoot threes. He can put the ball on the floor and score inside. He can score against fouls. He finishes inside. He's an excellent rebounder. When he posts up, and they've given him different looks. You saw him there against Caruso, Hartenstein did a very good job in game 2. Chet Holmgren a better job in game 3. So mix up the looks, get Victor as far away from the basket as you can. Even if he shoots threes, yes, he can make threes, but that's better than him at the rim. So as many different looks and as physical as you can be with Victor is hopefully gives you a chance.
Keep his scoring out of the paint. Meanwhile, there's SGA coach who's coming off of that 26-point performance in Game 3 as the MVP is starting to get hot at a good time for the Thunder. If you're on the Spurs bench, take us back to those days. What would your game plan be to try to slow down the MVP?
Well, again, a back-to-back MVP. The problem is, Rand, he can also pass the ball. He's a very unselfish player. You want him to go right if you can. That's his patented move right there, going left. He shot just under 40% from the 3 in the regular season. So that's not an answer either. There's the pass. There's Cason Wallace. That bench stepping up again. You got to keep him off the free throw line. He led the league in the regular season. Free throws made. He's leading in the playoffs, free throws made. Again, give him different looks, be physical with him, and try and make other people beat you. But so far, that's been a problem for San Antonio because the other people for OKC are beating them.
That's Coach taking us to school, taking us to class, and you can listen to more of the Coach. Game 4 between the Thunder and Spurs tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio. PJ Carlesimo joining us this morning on SportsCenter. Coach, much appreciated.
Thanks, Gary. Kesty and I have it under control on the radio.
Okay, coming up on SportsCenter, Wemby, Spurs looking to avoid that 3-1 deficit to the champ. We're live from San Antonio on why injuries continue to be a major story. And more on the Knicks being one win away from the NBA Finals. Quentin Richardson on why we should expect more of the same from Jalen Brunson in Game 4. And how about be like Mike? Like Kevin Weeks is comparing this goal last night to something Michael Jordan would do on the court. Okay.
Williams let the flyby go. Knocked down 3. Oklahoma City down 15-0 to start has come back. Third quarter for the Thunder. They're most in the third quarter this postseason. And the bench doing it again.
Trouble making my teammates better right now. I need to be more of a team player.
Down 15 to start. The Thunder win by 15 and take a 2-1 series lead.
Game 4 NBA Western Conference Finals. Thunder Spurs coming up tonight. OKC leads the series 2-1 so far this series. The Thunder bench has outscored the Spurs bench by 119 points. The OKC bench has scored 50 or more points in each of the first 3 games of this Western Conference Final. We said good morning to NBA reporter Tim McMahon. Tim, the Thunder's depth has been a huge part of their success, not only in this playoffs, but the entire season. What do you make of how OKC has constructed this roster around their back-to-back MVP?
Howdy, Jay. Look, this is the deepest team in the league. I mean, J.J. Redick in the last series was basically bemoaning the Thunder's depth. So they've got 13 guys who are top 7 or top 8 players on any of the roster in the NBA. And you can look at the bench scoring as evidence of that, you know, especially without Jalen Williams, their arguably second best player. The other thing, though, to really look at is the defensive impact that this depth has had. They are throwing guys, they're throwing different bodies, fresh bodies, at Victor Wembanyama, at Stephon Castle, at the Spurs' primary guys. And you know, as Chet Holmgren said, we're not just throwing fresh bodies to, you know, for the sake of it, just to have fresh legs on Victor Wembanyama. in Holmgren's words, the dudes coming in the game are dudes. I mean, it's Alex Caruso, it's Jalen Williams, Jay Will, who hit 5 threes in the last game. I mean, you know, guys like Cason Wallace, an all defensive team player coming off the bench. The Thunder, they just come at you in waves, and that depth has definitely been a factor in this series, in this playoff run, wearing down the San Antonio Spurs.
And in case anyone's forgotten, OKC has the 12th pick in the upcoming NBA draft, so another dude is on the way. Both OKC and San Antonio.
And 17th.
yes, indeed. Hey, both OKC and San Antonio are dealing with injuries heading into Game 4 tonight. What do you have on that?
Well, the depth's taken a little bit of a hit. A.J. Mitchell, who was, you know, 5th place in the 6th Man of the Year voting, fill-in starter for Jalen Williams, will not play. He has a calf strain, a soleus strain. That's probably going to knock him out for at least the rest of the series. We'll see about Jalen Williams, J-Dub, their star wing. He is again listed as questionable with left hamstring soreness. That, of course, is the hamstring that sidelined him for 6 games earlier these playoffs. He wasn't close to playing in Game 3, despite being listed as questionable. Now, the Spurs had a blank injury report. That does not mean they are completely healthy. De'Aaron Fox is managing that high ankle sprain on his right leg. Dylan Harper is dealing with the adductor soreness. He certainly was not the same player in Game 3 that he was in Game 1 and Game 2 before he got hurt. And, as Mitch Johnson said, Victor Wembanyama creates the advantages for the Spurs. Typically, those advantages are exploited by their guards, but 2 of their 3 guards are nowhere close to 100%.
Spurs are 2.5-point favorites heading into tonight in Game 4. Tim McMahon, thank you, sir.
A slow burn in the first half against the Cavs. In fact, Brunson had just 9 points, 3 of 6 from the field. This is the third quarter, mid-ranged. Yep. Knicks were up 11. Then in the third, baseline jumper again over James Harden. Oh, it was cooking now. They were up 13 at this point. And then Brunson, that flame was scorching hot. Knicks were up 19 and rolling. Then 5 seconds left in the third. Brunson, Mitchell throw it down. Brunson scored or assisted on 14 points in the third quarter after just 13 in the first half. He would finish with a game-high 30 on the night. In the fourth, it was the role players. How about Landry Shamet? I mean, he came off the bench, knocking down threes left and right. Knicks were rolling. Then a minute later, Shamet, again, step back. Again, over Harden. 11 points off the bench in the fourth. And then Brunson just put him away. Look at this defense. I mean, the Cavs packed it in. They're like, yo, we're going to Cancun. We gone. Knicks win it 121-108. Take a 3-0 series lead. Brunson with 30. And the bad news for the Cavs in NBA history, no team has ever come back to win a best-of-7 series in the playoffs after trailing 3-0. This is Donovan Mitchell's first time in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here he is on the lesson he's learned thus far.
Don't lose Game 1 after being up 22. Changes the entire dynamic of the series. And you got to give credit. They're up 3-0, right? Like, they've beaten us 3 times. So I'm not saying that. But, no, I don't feel like we're overmatched. I think we just have to find a way. And like I said, I hate to harp on it, but, like, we were up 22, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on everyone in this locker room. We know that. We feel that. And we have an opportunity on Monday to get game 4 and then go from there.
NBA analyst Quentin Richardson with us. Donovan said he hated to harp on it, but he brought it up twice, the blown lead in Game 1. What's your reaction to what he said there?
Man, OG, I feel like that Game 1 was a soul snatcher for the Cavs. It's proven that they haven't been able to recover from it. Like you said, he mentioned it twice, and I think it really sticks out that when you lose those type of games, when it happened, I was waiting to see the response in Game 2, like, can they recover? But in my mind, after they lost that lead and lost the way they lost in Game 1, I felt like that was the series right there. But I wanted to give it its just due and just, see how it played out. But everything leads to that game snatched their soul. It took the whole series away and it put them in a bad way to where they can't recover from it.
The Knicks going for the sweep Monday night right here on ESPN. Let's shift to the Western Conference, sir. OKC has been very physical with Victor Wembanyama this series. What adjustments can the Spurs make to make his life a little easier on the defensive end and get him more involved in that offense?
I think they need to get him closer to the basket. I mean, obviously, OKC is doing everything they can and all the actions to keep him as far away from the basket as they can. But I think with all the movement, I know this new generation, this new era, they pride everything on space and movement. But if I'm them, I get him close and I post him up a few times. Like right now, they've been playing him with the Carusos and J-Dubs and Lou Dorts and smaller people. And lately, they put Chet and Hardenstein on him. But regardless, he's bigger than guarding everybody. I would still get him closer to the basket and closer to the paint to try and get him some easy looks inside to open the game up for him.
Go a little old school. Put the tall man on the block and see what happens.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, OG.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about,
I know exactly
legend.
what you're talking about. A huge game for tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Quentin Richardson, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, 18